Last quarter for round 14. The West Coast looking for win 13. Hayden Kennedy gets us underway. Cox with the knock. Fletcher, who started things going in that third term. Walker gets back to help out for Carlton. Sends it forward. Waite right with him. Selwood. Different matchup there for Worsfold. And here's Selwood still going. Carlton just trying to get it free and trying to get a player free. Koutafidis may get it back here. He did. Got it from Scotland. High ball towards the 50-metre line. Lappin went back, got crunched by his own man in Longmuir. Andy Lappin just a little bit slow to get up. Good take by Hansen. Strong hands right on the wing, and Lappin is in a spot of bother. Perhaps he's only just winded. Let's hope so. Hansen squares it to Fletcher. How a man that gets that many disposals a week can be standing on his own, I'm not sure. Nice take by Walker. Player of the future for Carlton, learning every week by playing on their best opposition. Houlihan into the sunlight. Whitnell and Favola. The big spoil from Glass. No one there for the West Coast though. Longmuir goes back. Whitnell into the pocket, but Longmuir's fallen over. And the West Coast should clear. And they do. We're Punda on his own through the middle. Chick, well, he presented well and just dropped what he should have taken. Teague will get one for too high.
Now this is where they need the run, Carlton. They've got to have people coming from behind. Prendergast is offering.
Provide some run through the middle. Favola. Glass. Spoils. Numbers favour West Coast. Hansen stands and demands the footy. Caught out of it by Fletcher. Embley, you can hear a voice screaming inside. Fletch, Fletch, Fletch. Too much on the hand pass. Staker. Well done, Spawn. Thornton. Jones. Waite did just that, but eventually the ball came back to him. Koutafidis. There's a lot of wrestling going on between these two. Favola and Glass. Favola throws it on the boot, running back into flight. Whitnell doesn't quite get a handle on it. Hunter, does he get in the back? No. It's close to the line and still in and still going. And if he can get up Hunter and go, Selwood's got 45, 50 metres on his own on centre wing. And the next one down the line will be Stengline. He demands the footy.
Watch
Quick turnover. Fletcher's the next one in the chain. He's 35, 40 metres on his own. McGrath bearing down. Fletcher got it and went. Well done, McGrath. Worked the ball back inside. It comes to Chick. Throws it on the boot. Lynch and Hansen in the target. And the little man just chipped in through the middle while the big blokes were bustling and hustling. Phil Matera will go back directly in front, has a chance to kick his third.
What a fantastic scrap. Whitnell and Hunter both doing their best. Hunter just managed to keep the football in, and then they're away. They just had players lining up for the football. It was an extended rugby pass. It just went up the ground. Absolutely fantastic to watch.
Phil Matera, 11 on the run for West Coast.
We can always look for negatives and positives in a game of football, but just look at quality, and that was just one of the great team plays that we've seen here today. Just working up into the hot spot, and Phil Matera just in the right spot at the right time.
2 goals, 3 for Phil Matera, and he's had a couple out of bounds on the full as well. Margin 10 goals.
Only the 2 goals, is it? I've made a heck of a mess on Phil Matera's score sheet today. Look at that. Should have used a pencil.
Stats will be out on Monday, Tim. Brian, long ball. Big leap by Waite over the top. Well, it was Longmuir, I should say. Likes to jump, but Favola still working hard. Got a better couple. That's a bit of skill from We're Punda. And on the rebound, Cox just went to that pocket. That's confidence for you. Running hard, Cousins. The kick is measured. Got him. Good strong hands too.
It was a 100-metre lead. He just ran and ran and ran.
And Corey McGrath, he did everything right. Cousins' motor in the last quarter all year has just been fantastic. To run that far and have safe hands.
To centre half forward. Hansen through him. Here comes Judd. Not getting past this time. Kept the handball going forward. Chick may end up with it. Going back for Carlton. Teague. Lynch gets him. 25 metres out. We'll have a ball up.
He hasn't done much today, the big unit, but it's very hard running through it. He is just a monster of a bloke. You can't Teague, he'll certainly have a go.
Heading towards the boundary line, Carlton, but they haven't got it clear yet, or they have. Doing a little spin was Quinton Lynch. Let's go down the boundary with Lockie Reid.
Matty just had to confirm that Mark Nikoski and Heath Scotland have been reported for wrestling in the third quarter. Just a fine at this stage, but the match review panel will be asked to investigate the incident further on Monday.
Thanks, Lockie. Boundary throw in again. Everything going right for the Eagles. They've kicked 11 goals in this second half. Carlton haven't kicked one. And we'll have a replay.
Tell you something about umpire Mark Fraser is he doesn't over-officiate the game from someone standing back. He doesn't blow his whistle a lot, doesn't play a lot of free kicks. Just might have a feel there as a former player, what he thinks is a good thing and what's not.
No, after you've caned him all day and he's bouncing, you're trying to get something back.
I haven't caned him. Blame the 39,928 that have been getting into him. I'm on his side. Quick kick from Thornton.
Can't bounce.
Lappin.
And one.
Ridden into the back. That's a tough. He's going to be pinned. Well, I would have thought that was a push in the back for mine.
Wouldn't have mattered.
He was buried into the ground.
Wouldn't have mattered. If he'd looked up to him, he'd know where to go. Again,
Still.
just not a forward anywhere to be seen.
This is just one-way traffic, and it's just so ugly for Carlton. It was so good in that first half. Stengline, inside 50. Here they go again. Staker. He's kicked 3 goals, and the transformation of this young man, I think he had about 5 possessions in 3 games in a run, in 3 consecutive weeks, and was certainly on the way out. Was given another chance. Andrew McDougall and Gardner weren't up to it fitness-wise, and Staker has been given another go, and he's cashing in. 4 goals, Brent Staker. Well done.
I'd like to know your theory of the long sleeve jumper.
I have asked
Gossage.
that. I have actually asked to try and find out about it. I'm not completely convinced. He did wear a long sleeve jumper for a lot as a junior for no apparent reason. It might have been the cold climate or the likes, but I was out last Saturday night and saw a young boy walking around with a number 41 long sleeve jumper with Brent Staker's name across the back. The kid has to go and cut the sleeves off.
Personal best for Brent Staker. Did kick 3 goals against Melbourne last season, and he's got 4 in the second half. Cousins. Well, he missed it the first time, picked it up the second. Shares with Fletcher. Where's Staker? No, this time it's Seabee. Well, it's 41-14. They've just reversed the numbers. And it's too easy. A quiet day for Seabee, given that so many of his teammates have had a lot of the footy.
Considering what we saw in the first half, you just wouldn't believe this game was going to turn into a poleaxing.
So he lines up from 30 metres out, almost directly in front. Usually a pretty reliable set shot for goal, Mark Seabee. And continues that form. Yes, they do make this Subiaco crowd very proud, and you'd love to be a member here. You just turn up and you win. 17 in a row.
It's a nice feeling to have if you are a member of a club, knowing that you're a very good chance to leave the ground with a smile on your face, and with tall timber in your side, the likes of Hansen, Staker, Seabee, Lynch, Cox, you'd have to be happy.
Made a statement about Carlton not getting blown away, because in the last 4 losses here at Subi, they've lost by a total margin of 38 goals, 16. Well, it's going to go in excess of 50 goals the way things are going now in their last 5. So it's some pretty hefty defeats here at Subiaco Oval for the Blues, and the Eagles are showing no mercy. And that was the message all week at training. Oh, gone. Took too long. Should be pinged and is. Not enough talk out there. Camporelli, can they get a goal? The first for the half. Inside 50. David Wapunda having an outstanding season, troubled by a quad strain a couple of times this year. And here's Glass. She looks good at centre half back. gets it, and has a bounce. And Favola's chasing, and he'll keep chasing, Big Brendan. Kick to half forward. Staker. He's eyeing off 5. He steps inside and gets a chop out from Chick. A quick kick. Matera. Phil. Good catch. Good mark. Under enormous pressure from Bowyer. And Phil Matera can go back and have a crack at his 3rd goal.
His 2nd contested mark in this quarter as well. Bowyer really hasn't done much wrong, but the delivery up forward or into the forward line for West Coast has been very good. Matera just really just continuing on from the good form he's showing, because his touch is very nice. He's getting his hands to the footy. And it's one grab stuff.
This will be 14 goals on the run for West Coast. Last time the Blues kicked a goal, 20-minute mark, 2nd quarter, Heath Scotland. And Phil Matera applauds it through. Simple stuff.
Makes it very easy for a commentator, does Phil Matera, because every time he puts it on his boot, he gives it that little applause. Thank you very much. It's through the middle. It's been exciting.
Judd and Cousins both off at the same time. That's a luxury.
Yeah, and some ordinary sort of quality players come on, and Stegline and Kerr. What a great mark for the little man.
That's a terrific mark, isn't it? I mean, not known for his leaping ability. That's just terrific.
Well, I've got my way. Glass is now coming out to what's like centre half back with Favola.
The procession continues here at Subiaco. 14 goals for the 2nd half to West Coast.
Doesn't mean he can play well there.
Oh, doesn't matter.
Brian winning the knock for Carlton. They're going forward now through Scotland. He's opened up Stevens. Favola tries to run into the hole. Stevens gets told to go for it. 55, he punches it low, but he punches it left. That's the Bronx cheer from the West Coast crowd. Just the 2nd behind, is it, Tim?
Yep, since half time.
Yep. Judd afforded the luxury of a break. 22 disposals for him. 2 goals. One of them just classic Judd.
Are you still confident Cousins has got the 3 votes, or has he given a couple back to you, reckon, Peter, since you went off early?
No, outstanding courage he's showing. He's kicked 3. He'll come on, get a couple more touches just before the final siren.
Oh, Fletcher's had 28 disposals, making a run.
Yes. Wapunda's been outstanding. I think Stengline's had 21 and 10 marks.
Umpires love goals.
Oh, yeah? How many full forwards have won the Brown line?
From their midfielders.
Sorry.
I haven't finished the sentence. You always chip in too early.
Big leap, nice mark, taken by Longmuir. Can go through the middle. And a player standing on his own is Livingston. And he can share it with Waite, and he does. From inside the centre square, Favola the target, gets a little nudge from Lynch.
The new fullback.
And he's at fullback and he kicks it long. No one to kick to though, Quentin Lynch.
That's his first kick for the day.
Livingston, back to Houlihan, round the body, clever kick. Jared Waite, in space. No one to kick to though. Kicks it high and kicks it to David Wapunda.
Fletcher. Where's Darren Glass now? Peter?
Probably in the midfield.
I think he's actually on the bench, is he not? I think, yeah. That's why he was at centre half back briefly. He was walking through on the way to the interchange. Cox wins it down.
Thank you, Tim.
Scotland, already being reported for wrestling inside 50. Can they get a mark? Lynch flew. That could be costly. Favola. He's missed a lot. Did well work his man underneath the footy.
His work rate hasn't been too bad at all.
It's been good. He's played well. Kicked 3. Almost 3 out of 8.
He's handed off a couple and he's been chasing. I mean, I think it's a bit unfair from the crowd. That,
mate. They boo Wayne Carey, Gary Ablett. They boo the lot of you.
True.
Doesn't matter who you are.
Fair enough.
Imagine if Chris Judd left. Umpire says gone.
4 people hailing the same bus.
Camporelli penalised.
He'll get the ride.
Started strongly, Scott Camporelli. Very quiet since half-time. Kerr just threw it on the boot, and here's Fletcher. I'm tipping he'll get the 3 votes. Matty, are you with me on this?
Certainly.
Position 30, Mark 11.
Oh, that kick let him down.
Look at him. It's just like a training drill at the moment. And Wapunda's just camped on the left centre wing. If Stengline can see him, he does. Kudafidis is camped inside defensive 50, blocking up the hole. Jones just chips down. All the backmen want a piece of this. Jones plays on, chips to Selwood, and that is just too easy. Just too easy, and Selwood from directly in front. Can kick a long ball, but it'll have to be good from 55 as Judd comes back on for Fletcher. Adam Selwood. Could he be goal kicker number 12 for West Coast today? Directly in front. Doesn't quite strike it, but Staker's there, doesn't take the mark. Well done, Longua, and just throw in. It's repeating Carlton's last goal. Heath Scotland, 20-minute mark of the second term. So we've gone 2 quarters without a goal, and they led by 10 points at that time.
Deep inside West Coast attacking zone. Cox just able to lay it down towards Selwood, but Prendergast going through. Lappin also there. And we'll have another ball up 30 metres around from the goal. 133 to 56. It's quite amazing, the score, given that we were at half time. We were thinking, here's a close finish game, anything's possible. Walker gets out of trouble, gives it to Lappin. Short pass, not enough. Carazzo, he's in trouble. Judd will just accelerate out of trouble.
Ooh.
Going the wrong way though.
Oh, he's kicked. Oh, did he know he was going the wrong way? He has gone 70 metres backwards.
Well, he's full forward. He's playing at full back.
He's trying to get him involved.
Been off the ground for a while.
Lynch spots up to Jones. Could have been a set play.
Only he could do it and get away with it.
He went the wrong way though. Jones, well, a little bit untidy, but Wapunda's got a bit of time. Not a good kick from a man who prides himself in using the football. Staker's wrapped up, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Just over 6.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
There is Chris Judd.
If it wasn't Chris Judd, I reckon we would have thought the bloke deliberately going the wrong way, because he was flying.
He did do it in the 3rd quarter as well, I must admit.
Kerr can't get past the tackle, and all of a sudden the goals have dried up. So that's one good thing for Carlton fans watching around the country. There's only been 4 goals in this term so far, after 10 in the 3rd. But West Coast still pressing here, but being held up. Kerr trying to get past Johnson, or wrestle, and another ball up. You're still worried about the compass, aren't you?
I'm sure he knew what was going on. It just looked odd. That's all. Lynch didn't know what was going on. Kerr tried to duck underneath that tackle, and he may have sold himself into trouble. Now we'll have another ball up, so the ball's not going very far. Carlton will be happy with that. He's in this term 4 straight. West Coast, just the one behind for Carlton. Kerr got one in the back. It was delayed whistle. It was definitely there.
Hasn't spent a huge amount of time on the ground, coming up for his 14th possession.
Hansen on the end of it.
Nice return to form for this boy. Really has come back to the touch that we saw earlier in the year. He just let up time and time again. Adam Hunter coming up after a great game. Very sore, cramp. Andrew Embley coming back on, as well as Swan District's teammate. See Hansen, got a lovely kick.
Here is the Ashley Hansen shot on goal. missed a lot.
The mocker on him.
That's the Carlton forward line. They stand there long enough. Chris Judd might kick it back down there.
For himself.
Stevens to Kurtafidis. Kicks in the Teague and Prendergast direction. Chick calls the contest and McCoskey tackles Walker. Ball up on centre wing.
132 more disposals, 36 more marks, 62 more handball receives. West Coast.
An amazing second half.
132 more disposals. Carlton have had 220.
About 4 players more on average in possessions, isn't it?
4 good players.
Judd went without it. Chance for Houlihan. Besieged though by Chick. Stengline going in to pinch it but couldn't. But I guess it's really the game is petering out a little bit. We've had a lot of ball ups and throw-ins in the last 5 minutes. The applause for Wirpunda coming off. Over the top came Teague. Kerr hit in hope. Staker sharing with Banfield on the left. Can he get it to come back? He can't. And marking on the chest, Livingston. Deep on the last line of defence for Carlton. Back to where it came from in the form of Longmuir. He can play on. Chips short to Kurtafidis. Chambers is his target. He can go on as well. Long one-on-one for Voller and Lynch. Lynch winning. Johnson trying to get through and crumb it, but he can't get past. And the boundary umpire signalling that's out of bounds. Just outside the Carlton forward 50, 3 minutes remaining. They would like to get one in this half, and they'd like to get it now. Nice tackle by Thornton on Judd, but the numbers went out for West Coast. Seaby gave it to Banfield, over to Stengline. 12 marks for the afternoon to Stengline. Found himself in his own a few times. On the stretch, Staker. For once, they've got an open forward line if they can move it in quickly. Braun does so, and just with clever use of the body, Fletcher. A little bit of a look at the umpire to say, was that okay?
It's a big effort to move Kurtafidis off the footy.
Well, just had his arm pinned a little bit there, Fletcher. Just gave himself every opportunity against the big man. Just pin that arm back a bit, little tiny bit of a shove. And for a big man, Kurtafidis really should have been laying back on that.
Coming up for disposal number 32, 12 marks, hasn't kicked a goal. He's 45 metres out. He's got one now.
Give him the votes.
Fletcher has joined the party, coming off 32 disposals in round 13. He's matched it in round 14.
Yes, OK, Tim, I get it. You're staring at me. But Cousins has been on the bench. I have to look to the coach's box and say, well, come on.
Wilson critical of Worsfold tactics. I can see the headline.
I mean, you know, if he loses by 1 vote.
That's the goal. And Andrew Embley is limping coming off the ground, and it could only be cramp. He's coming to the interchange right now, but he's looking a tad distressed, but doesn't seem to be any urgency from the medical staff. They are looking down at his right leg. Lockie Reid is keeping an eye on that. Carlton have kicked 2 points since half-time, and West Coast have kicked 15 goals. Can the Blues eke out one in the last 2 minutes? Not if the ball's going this way, and that's the Eagles' direction. They're just queuing up for touches, and Wirpunda, who's just come back on the ground, takes the mark, and some late treatment, but nothing serious. Now Seaby's run on. McCoskey, a few dollars lighter in the pocket. Interesting kick. Jones just went with it. And here's Cousins. Here's your boy. Back out there. Longmuir hasn't had a great afternoon. Back in the west. Bounce was always going to trouble Johnson. Stenglein, little hand pass. Carazzo goes to ground. Walker, basketball-like, just taps it to himself and spins. Does very well. Leaves Jones and Nikoski in his wake. And Favola takes the mark. In fact, he got one over the shoulder from Lynch. So Brendan Favola has a chance to kick the Blues' first goal since the 20-minute mark of the second quarter.
With 40-odd seconds to go, really, it would probably be the last score, Timothy.
He's kicked 3. He's gone back about 40 metres. And hold his head up. He's worked very hard. Given the honours over glass, no doubt about that. So this will equal the effort of Staker, who's kicked 4 for West Coast. So to kick their first goal, the second half, after leading by 10 points at the long break. The clock ticks down. Strolls up, the clock keeps ticking. And ticking. Breaks into a trot. And then kicks the goal.
Well, there's a lot of talk about his run-up or his walk-up, but it's effective.
Oh, he's played well today. Kicked 4 out of 9 goals.
Nice work by Walker. And there's Lynch coming over the top. So Favola gets 4. 38 so far for the season, with 8 rounds remaining. And Carlton get that goal they're looking for. They're first for the half. Margin is at 77 points. And we're in the final 10 seconds. Fletcher couldn't get through the pack there. Spins out to Walker. He's got some acceleration there. Keeps it low. Wait, almost the mark on the siren, but just under 40,000 fans here at Subiaco. They rise to their feet. They've seen a wonderful performance in the second half. An outstanding third term of 10 goals, 15 straight before Carlton getting the last. And we thought perhaps an upset was on the cards, or at least Carlton were going to push the West Coast right to the end after a terrific first half of footy where they led by 10 points. It just hasn't eventuated, because the final margin is 77 points. Brent Staker kicked 4 goals in this second half, and here he is with Lockie Reed.
Well, Stakes, your career's turned around, and it's all got to do with the sleeveless jumper, I'm told. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, some can say that. I was just a long sleeve fan as a kid and always wore them. My father wore them, so I just continued it on, but now I've just taken up the short sleeve and going all right.
You're going to stick with it, I hope.
I think so. I just need a bit of a tan. I think might go to Solarium.
Best game in AFL?
I don't know. I don't really weigh that up. I just think it was a good game. I kicked a couple of goals. The boys played well. It was just a good game all round.
What turned around at half-time? Did you finally just get over the bye and start playing footy? Was that the case?
At half-time was just mainly just stick to the game plan, and we were a bit rusty at the start. I think I feel the teams have been, in the after the break, but we just come out, stuck to the game plan, and overtook them.
What was the difference in the third term, do you think, though?
Just our work rate. Yeah, we work much harder. We know we're a fit side and just stuck to that and kept working hard. So pretty basic.
Good on you, mate. Well played.
No worries. Thanks very much.
Yes, a personal best of 4 goals for Brent Staker. They head to Friday night football to Melbourne to take on the Kangaroos. Carlton, well, they'll be very happy to be back in Melbourne after games in Darwin and Perth. They have travelled a lot of late, and they will be taking on St Kilda at the Telstra Dome on Sunday. And whilst they did come in as big underdogs, and they probably didn't think they could beat the best team in the competition, they would be bitterly disappointed by their second half.
Well, as we heard prior to the game, equal to their best start in club history, West Coast, and pretty grim stuff at Carlton there. Entrenched on the bottom. Very good for that first half. Let's go back down to Lockie Reed.
Well, Fletch, Willow gave Cuzzy the 3 votes midway through the third term, but the boys upstairs have changed it now, and you are the 3-vote winner. Fantastic game from you.
Yeah, it was a good win. The boys had a good week off last week, and Carlton put it up to us in the first half, and we just ran over the top of them, I think.
Were you a bit shaky after the bye? Did you just put it down to that it just took time to get into the game?
Yeah, I think it takes time to get your second wind after a week off, and I thought we did that well in the second half.
Looking forward to the rest of the season. 8 games to go.
I know, not long, but we're all looking forward and ready to go.
Big test for you next week, isn't it? Friday night game. Eagles not so special on Friday nights.
Yeah, we haven't won at Telstra for a while, so it's going to be a big test against North.
Good on you, mate. Well played.
Cheers, Lockie.
Yes, and that is a big game next week, but of course that is a long way from their mind at the moment. They'll go through the recovery process, and at the moment they're going through a process of kicking a few footies out to the crowd. A very happy, a very quiet crowd in the first half. They certainly came to voice.
Well, very similar after we saw the Essendon game. Very quiet, but quietly confident as the Eagles continue to punish sides in the second half. They just run games out, and that's a sign of a very, very good side.
No question about that, sharing the goal kickers around, and that may be a little bit of a concern, Tim.
Yeah, limping quite noticeably, and the medical staff, that the doctor has been with him all the way, and if that's just cramp, and I'm not so sure. He's limping quite noticeably, so hopefully that is not too bad. And Phil Matera kicking the ball into the crowd, unfortunately kicked it straight into the post.
Yes, one of his better friends. Interesting, when Embley did come off, spoke about it when he was in a kicking action. To me, it's a calf or an ankle.
Okay.
So that may be the one negative to come out of this amazing second half by the West Coast.
32 possessions Fletcher, 27 were Punda and Braun, 25 for Stenglein, 12 marks, and the best for the Blues, Scotland 17, 16 to Stevens and 15 to Lappin and Walker. Got to mention, I thought Chris Bryan was toiled manfully in the ruck, clearly outmanned, but his first half was outstanding.
And just run out of legs, but his use of the football, the way he just penetrates lines is just extraordinary. You look at that lineup for the West Coast Eagles, and 6 of their players, 24 positions and above. That is just a lot of football from getting from your engine room.
20 out of the 22 got double figures or above. The only 2 that didn't, Edwards and Lynch.
Yes, amazingly, 371 disposals to 232. Just so much of the football when it was fairly even in the first quarter. Chris Judd, a little bit of magic from him once again with a couple of goals, and he finished up, as Tim said, with 24 disposals. But another win at Subiaco for the West Coast Eagles. They continue to dominate this competition. They are headed towards September. They've got 8 weeks to go, but they already know that they will be playing in the finals because they are 13-1 after round 14. We'll take a break from the AFL's family round here at Subiaco. They are a happy family, those boys there.
No. 53 in the second.